It's scientifically proven that if you snack before you film videos, they become like 400% better. So there's nothing I can do about it, it's just science. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. When it comes to beauty treatments, I'm not exactly a real housewife of Southwest London. I literally never get anything done. Last time I got a spray tan, a humble spray tan, was for my 6th form prom in 2009. I've never had a set of acrylic nails in my life. Those amazing acrylic nails. Mainly because I just wonder how the hell I'd get all the dust from my salt and vinegar crisps from out underneath them. And I dream of the day that I can afford to get those facials that like suck all the crap out of your pores with a tiny hoover. That's the dream. That's the dream right there, a tiny hoover on your face. So seeing as I generally have absolutely zero expectations, knowledge, bias when it comes to beauty treatments, I thought it might be quite a cool new string to my bow to add onto my Average Girl Tries series. Here it is again, the series that no one asks for, that just won't go away. In the past, Average Girl Tries has been mostly all about makeup brands, trying to figure out whether the products that all the very skilled makeup artists and famous beauty people, all the stuff they say are must-haves, are they actually must-haves when you're just a normal person with very minimal levels of eyeshadow talent? Half the reason in the first place that a lot of these beauty YouTubers make these products look so amazing in the first place is that the foundations are already laid by the fact that they get these beauty treatments done very regularly and they really keep on top of things. They keep their hedges trimmed. We're not talking about that today. Brows microbladed, they're getting their faces shaved, they're getting their lips plumped, skin lasered on a regular basis, blah blah blah. And louder for the people at the back right now, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Let me just repeat that, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Everyone's allowed to do whatever they want to do in this world, as long as it's not hurting anybody else. It's literally nobody's business to comment on anybody else's choices about their appearance. It doesn't make you better or worse, whether you like more makeup, less makeup, no filler, all the filler. At the end of the day, we're all just very tiny, insignificant creatures on this burning planet. So just do whatever you want, really, to feel good and look happy. And that's that. We're all suffering. Personally, a lot of that stuff isn't really for me, mainly because I'm lazy and just largely unbothered about having a hairy face. But there are a few of the more low-key beauty treatments that I've seen out there, which I am genuinely intrigued by. And one of the areas that I have always been very interested in trying to improve my general game at is lashes. 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 I want my lashes to be lashes. I am blessed with a lot of good stuff in this life, but let me tell you, Disney princess eyelashes are not one of them. I'm going to insert some before footage and some pictures here, the before of this whole thing. My natural lashes are very uninspiring. They're an absolute wet fish. Short, stumpy, not even particularly dark, just generally not what you're aiming for when you're aiming for eyelash goals. They're stubbornly just a bit shit all round, really. Even the best mascaras in the business never perform particularly well on me. I've never put a mascara on and thought, holy sweet Jesus, this is the one, because my lashes are just shit. And because my eyelashes are so straight, like straighter than every boy in Ayia Napa who wears a dress for lols on a night out, they basically go downwards, not even upwards. They're so straight that they go. It's a real curse, which I can only possibly explain by some kind of bad behaviour in a past life. Maybe I was a godforsaken, scurvy-riddled, swindling pirate. That sealed my mascara eyelash fate. In the grand scheme of life, this doesn't really matter. I've never bothered to do anything about it before, and I could live a very happy existence with these lashes. But hey, that would make for a very boring beauty series. And I also happened to discover that there is something out there called a lash lift. Who knew? Probably everybody else on the planet knew that apart from me. So rather than wearing false eyelashes, which you take off at the end of the day, peel them off your eyelids, or getting eyelash extensions, which make your natural lashes suffer a bit, a lash lift literally does what it says on the tin. It literally lifts and curls your lashes upwards, and then they're semi-permanent results as well, so they stay like that. This is the eyelash motion that we're looking for. So I did a little bit of digging, did a little bit of research, and everywhere I just saw amazing before and after pictures from all the kind of typical beauty guys and gals that you see across Instagram. So I thought, well, if it's good enough for them, it's most certainly good enough for me. let's have a go. I booked myself in at Blink Brow Bar in London. Try saying that fast after you've had a drink. And according to the website, it promised to achieve dream lashes, which make lashes appear longer, eyes appear wider, and last up to 6 weeks. Blink did very kindly gift me my lash lift, but this is absolutely not an ad. They didn't ask me to make this video in any shape or form. I didn't have to create anything around it. I just wanted to record the result and the treatment because I just thought it would be kind of interesting to see what happened to my boring basic beige eyelashes. So I arrived at Blink Brow Bar and I was led over to the treatment bed. One of those like proper fancy beauty ones where you lie back and you kind of fall half asleep, but you're also kind of half awake wondering why you're so bothered about the fact you got crap eyelashes. You're so bothered that you ended up in this situation and you're kind of thinking, why do I care? But you've come this far, so you might as well just stick with it. The treatment starts with the technician giving your eyelashes a good clean with cotton wool to get rid of any of last night's dodgy old mascara traces. We all get them. Then you close your eyes and your eyes will have to stay closed for approximately the next 10,000 years. If you're not good at keeping your eyes closed for long periods of time, you might struggle with this a bit. I discovered later down the line that it's definitely not one of my best talents. So a little plastic or silicone little kind of shield is applied to your eyelids and it's like stuck down with a really gentle adhesive. It's kind of like the stuff that you would stick like a strip of fake eyelashes on with. So the shield's on and then the same adhesive then goes on top of the shield, and that's when the technician starts to comb your eyelashes backwards so that they stick down, they're curved up and around onto the shield. So you've got your shield here and then your lashes are like curled and stuck back. And that right there is when the feeling starts to get a little bit weird. Like, did you ever have that kid at school who could do that trick where they could turn their eyelid inside out and look like a demon? Or like when you go to the opticians and they turn them inside out with a little like lollipop stick. That kind of, if it kind of feels like that, it's not painful or super uncomfortable even. It just feels really strange because obviously your eyelid's being hoisted. When your eyelashes are all stuck down back on themselves and all perfectly fanned out like the lashes of Princess Belle herself, the technician then goes in with the eye safe, it's all very eye safe obviously, perming solution. And heads up, because she literally gave me a warning in advance and I will pass on that same message to you, my friends. This stuff stinks. Like Stinky Pete stinks. A real stinker. This is the stuff that softens your eyelashes. It softens the bonds on each little tiny hair of your eyelashes so that they can then be moulded into the new shape. It really does sound a bit weird when you say it like that, doesn't it? But the costs of beauty, huh? At this point, I was lost in a world of my own inner eyelids, so I'm not entirely sure how long that stayed on for. I'd imagine it was about 10 minutes. This whole time you have to make sure that your eyes are fairly firmly closed, but without screwing up your face, and that your head stays still to stop the shields like sliding or falling off, because you'll end up with squiffy lashes if it ends up going off this way or off in this direction. It's quite a lot to think about. It's a little bit stressful. So that's the perming solution, and after that one has done its thing, that is all wiped off, and then it's replaced with the setting solution, and that's the stage that will then harden up your lashes again. They'll build back those bonds that the perming solution broke down, and then that stays on for about the same amount of time as the first load of gunk stayed on your lashes. When I'm saying it all out loud like this, I'm just thinking, oh my god, what an absolute faff this was. The technician also applied a really nice heavy eye mask on the top, which felt so good. I guess it's to like remove any temptation to open your eyes or move your eyes around or anything, but it really put me into some kind of like weird, deep sleep kind of trance. Would recommend. So by this point, I'd had my eyes shut for like 35 minutes, while also still very much awake, which is no mean feat, let me tell you. And I suspect maybe that's where I kind of messed up. This is where I proved that you cannot put me in a nice, glamorous, shiny beauty place for a lovely treatment such as this, because I just embarrassed myself. Thinking about it now, making me want to turn inside out a little bit, but we'll go with it, it's okay. So a couple of like under eye shields were applied to stop the dye transferring onto my skin, like on my eye bag skin. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but it's where my eye bags are, loud and proud. Once they're on, she then popped the tint on, and almost as soon as the technician popped that like lovely heavy eye mask on again over my closed eyes, I could tell that something wasn't right, and it was kind of burny. It was Bernie. It was Mr. Burns. It did feel a little bit painful, and as much as I was lying under this eye mask thinking, my social anxiety kicking in thinking, oh, I can't say anything, this is too embarrassing, my eyes are burning, better not tell her because that's really embarrassing and I'm such a cringe. I also thought, I probably should mention this. That's anxiety for you. You can be lying down with your eyes feeling like they're burning out your sockets and you'll think, oh, I don't want to say anything, better not trouble her. What if she thinks I'm awful? Not really worth risking burning your eyeballs all in the name of having perfect eyelashes. So I did let the technician know, and she was great. She very quickly washed my eyes for me and kind of just told me that I must have opened my eyes like even the tiniest bit at some point and basically got some of the dye in my eye. So it was very much my own stupid fault, which of course really wasn't the end of the world because the dye had been on long enough on my lashes to like do its thing. But I think I cut it short by like a few minutes, and she did sort of double ask me. She was like, are you sure you want me to wash it off? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Please hand me the water. So that was that. The treatment was finished off with an extra little wipe to get off any like excess solution or any leftover tint. She just brushed them all up, really fanned them out into their amazing new full potential, just like some kind of ugly duckling eyelashes into beautiful fluffy swans who just got a blow dry. And I am not kidding in the slightest when I say that when she handed me the mirror to show me the final result, I was completely blown away, like legit blown away. I literally went, oh my god, out loud. Look at the final result, look at it. I'm gonna do some before and afters so you can see the proper change that happened here. A miracle had happened, a Christmas miracle. Shooketh. 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 I was shooketh. Seriously impressive. I was amazed. The whole thing took about an hour and 15 minutes altogether, I think. And supposedly, if you're lucky, it can last you up to 6 weeks. Although I would say mine started to like flump a little bit. They weren't quite as incredible at about the 3-week mark. Having said that though, even now, which is the 5-week mark, they still look pretty decent. I'll do some close-ups of my 5-week lash lift as well today, just for reference. Even now, over a month later, they look much more lifted and more curled than I have ever seen them look before I had this done. So I really have been like super impressed by the whole thing. One thing I will say, just as a little side note, is that I really regret not double checking with the technician about aftercare. You can tell I never do anything like this because I didn't bother asking her like, is there anything I need to know? Like, shall I do anything to them to protect them at all costs? Shall I wrap my head in an enormous scarf? I've since read that the first 24 hours after you get them done, you should avoid getting them wet, near steam, any kind of moisture. You can't be crying, you can't have any kind of life crisis, and you shouldn't put any kind of makeup on them at all for 24 hours either. And I didn't know that, so I definitely had them in the shower and all sorts before that. Literally the day after, I went off to Glastonbury, so I had them covered in glitter, I was sweating into them, I put them through their paces, and I should have given them a little 24-hour bit of R&R. So for future ref, that's good to know. So my favourite thing about the lash lift is how much bloody prettier they look. They're dark, they're fluttery. They mean that all of my mascaras, cheap ones and expensive ones, have been doing bits. It's made such a difference to the effect that my mascara has on my lashes, and it's really helped as well with the amount of smudging that I get underneath. I guess because my lashes kind of used to face downwards, and also they're so low maintenance. Like, if you go for lash extensions, they come with so many warnings about being careful when you wash your face and removing eye makeup and using oils and all that kind of stuff. You have to be super duper careful. But with the lash lift, apart from the first 24 hours where you have to like be a little bit precious about them, after that you don't even have to give them a second thought, which is right up my street. They're not in any way like extra or super glam. They just make it look like you're blessed with natural lashes that are amazing, and that is what I like to go for. I think if I'm gonna go for any beauty treatment, I don't really want you to be able to tell that I've had any beauty treatment done. I kind of just want you to think I'm blessed. In terms of downsides, like the first one is that the process is a bit uncomfortable. Just obviously it's not exactly natural to have your eyelashes like glued up to your eyebrows for an hour. They're not meant to go that way. And it did also like bloody hurt a little bit when I got the dye in my eye. But That's technically my fault for being such a fidget and not being able to do what I'm told. The last sort of downside is the cost. I say sort of because money and affordability is relative to everybody. So, but to me personally, I think it was quite pricey. Definitely not a cheap treatment by any means. The one I got done at Blink is priced at £85 a go, which clutches pearls. It's spenny. I think that's a hell of a lot of money for anyone on a vaguely normal budget, and I'll be honest, there's no way I can afford to get that done regularly. Just doesn't really fit in with my savings and all that kind of stuff. But, and I think this is a general rule for beauty treatments across the board really, having seen how insane the results are, and the fact that I'm now addicted to having very long fluttery lashes that make birds and woodland creatures sing at my feet, I would absolutely put some money aside and get this done again for special occasions. And I think that's what people do with a lot of treatments like this. You treat yourself for a special occasion, like a wedding or a big party or a holiday. I found it to be such a confidence boost. It made me feel really pretty. There's something really feminine and pretty when your lashes are nice and fluttery like that, and it made me feel good. And here I go with some logic here. Like, say the lash lift lasts 4 weeks on you, a good 4 weeks, kind of like it did on me before it went a bit flumpy. That then breaks it down to more like £22 a week, which is a slightly less painful way of looking at it. But I'm definitely just trying to justify this, lol. And of course as well, I'm sure that going to a central London, very well-known beauty brand who specialise in this kind of thing definitely isn't the cheapest way of doing it. Like, I know LVL is a thing that exists. I'm sure local salons will be a lot more affordable. So I think if you're interested in doing a lash lift, do a little bit of shopping around, always do your research, read the reviews. And that's not to say that I don't think the price is justified either, because I think when you pay for a beauty treatment like that, you're not just paying for the treatment. It's like when you go to a good hairdresser, you're also paying for the years of training that they've got behind them, the years of apprenticeships they did, the years of training and courses and whatever. You're paying for the skill, and I think it's always a bit rude to say that like something like that is super overpriced. I don't think it was particularly overpriced, I just don't think it's affordable to be getting done all the time, if that makes any sense. So that is my experience with my first ever lash lift. Hope you enjoyed this little insight. You're probably all like, yeah, we know what a lash lift is. Shut up. But I had absolutely no idea what it involved. So maybe a few of you won't have a clue either, and it might be quite interesting to see what went down. And that's that. So me and my lashes, we're gonna flutter on out of here. If you guys did enjoy this video, then please do give it a little thumbs up. I'd love to know if this is something that you would like to see more of. If there's anything you'd like me to test out and let you know if it's worth the money, I mean, pop it in the comments down below and I'll try my best and figure out what it is. I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you guys in the comments as well. What did you think of the results of the lash lift? Were you as impressed as I was? Or am I just a little bit deluded and I got a bit carried away feeling like Princess Belle? Have you ever had a lash lift? Is it something on your list that you want to give a try? I want to hear all about it, so get involved in the comments down below and we can have a lovely little chat about all things lash related. You could say we'll be getting on the lash in the comments. We'll be getting on the lash. Don't forget you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Lucy Jane Wood, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Ta-ta! Goodbye! Bye. Mwah.